Alright, so let's start by introducing your guys'
Is that your
characters. So who wants to go first? Oh.
So basically, Kat should go first because she first pointed.
Oh my gosh.
And
Okay.
how do I introduce myself?
So tell me the name of your character, who you're playing as, and just a little description of what you look like.
Jackie, like the music background, like running down.
Luna is really sad though. I named my person Luna. I'm the hex. And I put, she wears retro clothes, is a woman.
Okay.
With like featureless eyes, so she has like no soul in her body.
Now, do you have a soul in your body and might just be hidden? Or do your eyes, like your eyes might just not show that?
Maybe.
That's up to you.
I don't know. Featureless eyes. Just zoned out.
Very unassuming.
It's very meanish.
You can't read her. You don't
That's
know what
good.
she's thinking. You don't know what she's thinking or what she's up to.
I think that's good. Anything else you'd like to tell us about what your character looks like? Or what she might be like personality-wise? Alright.
I don't think so.
So Michaela, you're up. Who are you playing as? What's your name?
I chose the name Carolina. I really like that name.
Solid.
I'm the chosen.
Alright. What do you look like?
I'm a woman with a young face with
Okay.
urban wear clothes.
Cool. So then I'm gonna put Sam.
Fair enough, alright.
So you're doing fine, you're doing
And
fine.
the description of urban clothes. Like shaking chair. But if not, let's move on.
So I'm gonna put someone on the spot real quick. So who should it be? Alright, well, Sam pointed to Michaela. So Michaela, would you like to describe to me how you and Luna started up your ghost hunting?
Frick yeah.
Group.
First of all, no.
You're doing great.
You're great. It just happens.
It just happened?
We were on a different mystery hunt, and we ran into each other.
Alright.
And then that one worked out, so now here we are again.
Cool.
We tried first.
Who has the name of your ghost hunting group? I think Kat should come up with the name.
The name of our ghost hunting group?
Yeah.
Not the Ghostbusters.
It's literally just that, not the Ghostbusters.
Not the Ghostbusters.
Running with it, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, not the Ghostbusters.
I think that's hilarious. Alright, so I'm gonna read to you guys a quick little snippet of where you're going and why you're going. So, your setting for today is Calera, Oklahoma. It's a quaint town that's mostly farmland and rural areas. It's not really known for its technology, but it's the leading producer of vegetables and other livestock. So at the center of the small town, in a small community filled with people who keep an eye out for each other. Everybody's pretty close-knit. Everybody knows everybody. And the reason you guys are heading here is because Luna, you got an email to your guys' work email, for your Not the Ghostbusters ghost hunting troop. And it's from a woman by the name of Mary Barnes. And she just says, hey, I hear that you guys bust ghosts and stuff, and I don't know necessarily if this is a ghost, but my daughter Addison has been having really terrible nightmares, and I'm not really sure what to do about it. I've seen her on several occasions just drawing weird pictures, talking the walls, and she'll sleepwalk every now and then, and she'll just show up in our bedroom, and she'll just stand in the corner, and we'll go out to, talk to her, we'll tap her on the shoulder, we'll try to get her back to bed, and she'll stand motionlessly. She'll just stand there, and then 20 minutes later she'll just walk out as if nothing happened. I don't know if that's supernatural or not, but honestly, anything you could do would help. Thank you for your time. Sincerely, Mary Barnes. So you guys,
She's definitely being possessed.
Definitely. I'm pretty sure there's like a scary horror movie based off of that. Literally
1000%.
description.
I've seen a supernatural episode like this.
I'm sure you have.
And that's how we would succeed in our mystery solving. We watch supernatural episodes that
There
like
you go.
relates to the thing, and we're like, that's what they
That's
did.
your guys' training.
That is.
1000%.
That's our reference. That's our
why.
reference.
I love you 3000.
Oh my gosh. Every 5 minutes. What would Dean Winchester do?
That's our like slogan right there.
So you
That
guys,
could be your group name or your business, Dean Winchester.
Ghostbusters.
Not
Ghostfacers, no. I was thinking about that. I'm like, oh god, I hated those guys. They were the worst.
Touching kittens.
What did you say?
No.
Possessed.
What did you say?
No.
It's like touching kids, and then in parentheses, who are possessed.
Oh
oh
god.
my god.
That's bad.
We're gonna go with not Ghostbusters until you guys have another name if you
That
want.
is
It's
perfect.
not
No.
Ghostbuster, not Ghostbuster, and our slogan is what would Dean Winchester do?
Oh my god.
Okay.
That was-
Which episode of Supernatural is this?
Basically.
Name the episode.
So you guys are driving down the road on your way to this house. Who's driving?
Me?
Cat is
Can't drive.
Oh.
This is why it's perfect. She can drive in this.
I have driven with a very bad driver.
Is it because she's a woman?
Oh my god.
And also
What
a
am I?
very
You're
like,
both.
a woman, but also Asian and a short person, so I got all the like stereotypical against me
What
right
kind
now.
Aw. Sam, you're so mean.
I'm trying to make being more lively.
Christ.
If I've ever driven, I have to sit on a pillow to boost myself, so I can sit
That's
over.
perfect. Add that to your
Okay.
story.
Remind
Yeah.
me of your character's name.
Carolina.
Carolina. I need to take a couple notes here.
But not because it has an A at the end, so ha.
So Carolina, describe to us how you're feeling as you guys are kind of reading over this message, getting ready to, head to this house. Give me some thoughts on this email.
I'm glad it's not my child. We're thinking about how we're gonna solve this potential.
Yeah, just
Prepping ourselves
Yeah, just,
for what we're going into. Because we're probably gonna see a possessed child.
yeah.
So
Definitely gonna get a die.
no, we're not gonna die.
Good
If
mentality.
anyone's dying, it's the ghost.
Hell yeah. Send it to the other side.
Exactly.
What do you think of this email?
Of this email.
Yeah, just go ahead, have
I
a
think
conversation
it's
about
definitely
it.
a thing.
The heat and the
Like-
Definitely a thing.
It's not a made up story. I don't think the child's just acting out and just being like a loathsome person.
I mean, there's a lot of specifics in there.
Yeah, there's a
So
lot
it's
of
a little
details.
funny.
Therefore, I feel like this is a true mystery that we need to solve. The child is definitely possessed.
Mm-hmm.
She does not deserve to be possessed. Maybe.
We're gonna
I don't know.
have
She might be a brat. She might
Hell
be a
yeah.
brat. It's like, is it really worse if we go brat though?
Yes. So maybe we'll just. Oh, it was an accident that she was
Oof.
lost with the ghost.
That she was pushed off the house.
Was she playing with like the Ouija board or something?
The Luigi board.
A Luigi board.
The Waddle Ouija board.
The Waddle Ouija board.
Maybe she said bloody.
Did she summon this thing herself?
While the
possessed
sink was
herself.
on and flushed toilet.
She'll
Who's
never
to
do it
say?
again.
Is there other people, kids, being possessed too? Is this?
No, that's
These are good questions.
Yeah. Is this a Circuit Y low neighborhood thing?
So as you guys are kind of discussing how this is gonna go,
Because I want to buy candy. I have money.
Carolina, you pull into the driveway, and I'm gonna say, right now it's probably like 7 p.m. right now. Like the sun's going down and everything.
Best time of day.
Oh, for sure.
for ghosts.
It's kind of cloudy as is, so the sun wasn't even out that much to begin with today. As you guys pull in the driveway, the door opens, and you see who you assume is probably Mary Barnes. She's kind of in her 40s, she looks like a regular kind of, farmland wife and everything. She looks pretty nice. She's got, soft features. She looks like she hasn't been sleeping very well. She looks very worried, and she's kind of just standing in the doorway with her apron on. Looks like she just got done making dinner. She's gonna wave at you guys and be like, "Are you guys not the Ghostbusters, right?"
Yes.
Trick question.
Yeah, no, we are not the Ghostbuster. That would be blah 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 blah. I don't know the actors.
Oh, that's so great. I'm glad you got out here so fast. I hope your drive was okay.
It was incredible.
It was incredible. Good.
Yes, because I just love to drive and
We definitely should
Just
to
look
throw
at-
back music.
look at the farmland.
It's nice out here.
The moment we should throw it back.
When I was sleeping, so got to listen to my own music,
That's
Nice.
so true. That's probably very accurate.
right? Thank you.
So she's gonna like kind of motion for you guys to come inside. She's gonna hold the door open for you. And when you guys get inside, you notice that it's not the best house. Like it's not terrible, but like it looks very kind of like lower middle class. It's kind of messy. You hear in the living room, like just to the other side of the door, just the TV's just super loud and just blaring some nonsense commercial.
I'm triggered.
You're triggered. He kind of glance over and you see a man in his mid-40s just sitting in his chair, just kind of watching the TV with his beer in his hand and everything, just kind of ignoring everything.
Classic.
And what'd you say?
What kind of beer?
It's a Bud Light.
Oh.
And as he's over there with his TV way too loud, Mary kind of just looks over in his direction. She's just like, Andy, could you turn it down? We have guests here. And he looks up for like half a second, kind of looks in your guys' general direction, and then he just kind of ignores you, goes back to watching TV.
It's the first mistake.
I'm so sorry about him. He's kind of been grouchy lately. He didn't want me to call you, essentially. He didn't think there was anything going on. And he hasn't been the most supportive of the situation. You can like just hear him in the other room just kind of like moaning, kind of grumbling, like whatever. Like he's definitely just like, she's full of crap. But she's gonna kind of gesture, kind of just vaguely around her, like whatever you guys need to do to set up. If you need to do to look around, the space is yours. My daughter's in her room right now. She's supposed to be asleep. It's bedtime for her, but she hasn't really been going to bed around this time. She usually stays up for an extra couple hours, and then she'll sleep for one, and then once we settle in for the night, she shows up in her bedroom. She does the thing I told you about in the email. She just stands there, and then it's sort of a toss-up when she leaves. We never really know.
How old is she?
She's 6 years old.
Oh, she's a baby.
Yeah, she's really young, and this is new. It happened, I want to say about 3 weeks ago, but it's been nonstop since it happened. So I think this is like a little good break in the gameplay to be like telling you guys what you guys can do when stuff comes up and when people talk to you. So your go-to move is going to be investigate a mystery. Whenever something happens, if you want information or if you have questions, you can roll to investigate a mystery, and depending on how well you roll, you get to ask me any of the questions listed under there, and we'll show that on your guys' agenda. The questions are: what happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What is being concealed here? And what was it going to do? Not all of those will always be applicable, but depending on what you need, there's usually a question there that can kind of help you get there. Also, you can do read a bad situation too, but that's usually for when stuff is going down. But those are your go-tos aside from kick some ass, which hopefully that won't happen right away.
Change the matter now. Mary, you're going down.
Kind of ironic her name is Mary.
You can do whatever you want. I don't recommend.
What?
So let's take out Mary now.
No, I said kind of ironic her name is Mary.
Oh.
Supernatural.
Oh.
That was a complete accident on my part.
What was her last name?
Thanks.
Barnes.
Okay.
So yeah, feel free to do whatever you guys need to do to set up for the space and everything. And if there's anything I can do or anything you need from me, just let me know. And if you need anything from Andy, I'm sure he'd be willing to help out too, right? And she kind of like looks over in his direction, and he's just like, fat chance.
Huh, Betsy's fat.
That's hilarious. Oh my god.
Jesus Christ. So yeah, what would you guys like to do to set up for figuring out what's going on here? What's the, not the Ghostbusters plan of attack?
We should probably investigate. We're gonna investigate.
But we have to
Alright,
set
cool,
up
cool.
to investigate. Do we have equipment with us?
You have whatever equipment you guys think you would have.
We have a vacuum.
I thought you guys
Absolutely.
wanted the Ghostbusters.
A backpack vacuum.
Oh my lord.
Swiffer picker upper.
Swiffer picker-upper. Standard issue from the Academy.
We have those cool little laptops that like read things.
Nice, nice.
The vacuum that just is the circle on your floor.
Oh,
The
the
Roomba.
Roomba?
Yes.
We have a Roomba that will attract to the demon dirtiest spot, and we'll just follow the Roomba to wherever it is.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want
The
to
most cursed
explain
area
that to
in the
Mary?
house.
Do you want to tell Mary about that? Tell her about your special Roomba.
Our Roomba kind of goes to the room that has the most dark energy, you know, and that's where we're gonna investigate. So is it okay if we just set this Roomba to like go? It'll clean as it goes too. So that's a
Oh.
plus for your.
That's
For
really
your
great,
house.
actually. Yeah, I like that. And then Andy gets up and he kind of walks over. Like, he heard that and he's just like, all right. And he, like, walks over and he's just like, so, how did you get the Roomba to do that? What makes this any different than a regular Roomba?
Put a little spell on it.
You what now?
We coded it because one of us is like really smart, so we did that with the computer chip, and then we put it back in there. You know, we built it, the Roomba, and then we were supposed to put a little magic on it, so then it also does that supernatural side.
Amazon Prime.
Andy
But yeah, we bought like the actual piece off of Amazon Prime. We brought it home and modified it to our liking for our job.
Yep.
Andy looks kind of pissed because he's just like, fuck, I can't really dispute a lot of that. But it sounds kind of fishy. So he's going to go
But it
back
works
to...
though. We got a 5-star rating on our
Was that for
Ghostbusters.
saying?
He's gonna kind of just go back to his chair and start watching TV again. But he sounds like he's kind of mumbling. He's just like, fucking Roomba.
Hey, it's just cleaning your house. Our side business, you know?
Our second business.
A little side
No, your
business.
freaking radio blows.
As you guys are kind of talking to Andy and Mary about that, a little girl appears behind you. Like, you didn't hear her come in at all, but she's just like there, and she just touches your leg, and she's just like, "Who are you?"
I probably scream
Yeah,
and like jump to the other side,
that's valid.
kind of behind Michaela, because
That's
that
fair.
freaked me out, and I'm a very jumpy person.
So I would call Bruno
You'd be like,
Nice.
whoa, and then like once I realized the little girl, I'll be like, oh hi, and then it's just
now. It's a possessed little girl though. Be careful.
maybe she doesn't know she's possessed.
She
by
just
it.
looks up at you with these really wide, really blue eyes, and she's just like, "Who are you?"
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, I'm just one of your mom's friends, you know, just stopping by to say hello.
We're gonna help you.
Yeah.
Do you hear it too?
And then you're just like,
Hear what?
yeah, I hear what?
The
But like
voice.
very nicely, so the she
Yeah, yeah.
opens up.
The voice.
Is he talking right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you kind of ask, we were gonna ask her, like, we kind of like go down to her level, so it's like eye to eye.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
gets more welcome, like, what exactly is this voice saying to you?
It's saying that this is gonna be a great night.
Why?
I don't know. It just said it was gonna be a great night.
Do you talk to the voice?
Sometimes.
Could you ask him?
I know it's him.
She just like looks up and is just like, "Why is it gonna be a great night?"
We follow her gaze.
She's just like looking at like this weird dusty corner in the room and like
That's where the Roomba is. That's where the Roomba is.
oh my god.
That's where the Roomba is right there. It's just like in the corner, and you're like, oh,
That's a dust balls.
Oh lord.
that's a dust particle.
She's just like I didn't hear anything back. The voice is quiet now.
And you're just like, oh, okay. And then you kind of realize it's gonna be a great night because we're gonna solve this mystery, and then we're gonna be like, heck yeah, celebration time. She's gonna celebrate. Dan's gonna celebrate. We're gonna celebrate.
She just
Hopefully
keeps
so.
like staring
Hopefully
at that
so.
corner for like a solid like 30 seconds and then she just stops and she just walks up the stairs.
What does she see?
We don't know because we can't see it either.
And her mom's just gonna be like, she's always talking like that. Like, I don't understand if she has like an imaginary friend, if this is just like a game she's playing. But it's weird, right?
It is weird.
I've told Andy several times that it's not normal stuff for children to be doing, and he just doesn't want to acknowledge that. He just thinks, kids will be kids. I'm like, this is more than kids being kids.
100% agree with you.
And as she says that, like, you hear like beeping that you recognize to be your Roomba a couple rooms over. So, what would you guys like to do?
We're gonna go investigate the Roomba.
Let's
Nice.
get the
what my
Roomba
boy is
and also go see where that spot she was kind of staring at and see if there's anything wrong there.
Yeah, we check out the area for ectoplasm.
What would you like to do first, the Roomba or the spot?
We should probably investigate the spot first. 'Cause we're
The
already
spot
there.
first.
We're already there.
And that's where she was talking to. Maybe it linger there, something linger there that will give us a clue.
The dark energy will stay.
Yeah. Go ahead and whoever would like to investigate it first, roll investigate a mystery. So you'll take your 2 dice, you'll roll it, and then if you have a modifier on your sharp stat, add that. And then you're looking for a 7 to 9 or a 10.
Okay. Like combined total?
Yep. If you get a 7 or 9, you get to ask me one of those questions. If you get a 10 or higher, you get to ask me 2.
Go for it, Michaela. She got a 9 plus.
Do you have
Oh
a...
no, I think it's a 6.
6 plus 3 is 9.
6 plus 3. Oh, I thought you said 9 plus.
Oh, okay. Well, you do get to add if you have a sharp
Positive
modifier.
Oh.
So when you on the other sheet. So on the back of your sheet, when you picked your guys right here, so you get to add a +1. So if you want to write these numbers in on the front of your sheet,
Then you'll get to know what you get to add
Okay.
anytime you roll.
Can you show me how to do that?
Yeah.
Oh, so you write them here.
yeah, just in the circles.
Oh, okay.
So you have a 10. You get to ask 2 questions.
Yeah, which is great. 2 is always better than 1.
Frick yeah. Let's go. Okay, so
So when you get to the investigate a mystery section, those are the questions you can ask me.
And I have to answer to the best of my ability.
okay. What should I ask? What can it hurt?
Are you asking me or are you asking Kat?
I feel like we don't know what it is. Maybe we can ask what sort of creature it is,
Yes.
or what is being concealed here.
Mm.
Okay.
No.
What sort of creature is it?
Yeah.
So, upon looking at that spot, you feel like you've experienced kind of a similar energy in that area. It's really faint, and it feels kind of, I guess, for lack of a better word, it feels kind of malevolent.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it feels like it's an energy that doesn't want to do good,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't feel very strong. There's a lot of things that you guys have encountered along your journey together that could be that.
Mm-hmm.
So right now it's probably a little tough to rule out what it would be without finding a bigger concentration of its energy.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
What can it hurt?
essentially it doesn't seem like it's having an effect on any of the adults in the room. So Probably things that are smaller or weaker than adults.
Okay, because it's weak.
Yeah. Also, don't feel pressured when you guys do like roll your stuff and you get to ask questions to do them all right now. You can save them for later if you'd like to.
Oh, so we can stack them later?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, you can essentially ask those questions on anything that's applicable in whatever moment,
Okay.
depending on what you're looking at. Cool. And then, if you want to check on the Roomba, I can describe to you the room that it's in. So, essentially the path is, you've got the entryway that you guys just came through.
Mm-hmm.
To the left of that is the living room.
Yep.
Straight ahead is the kitchen. And then your Roomba is in the room to the left of the kitchen, which seems to be the laundry room. And Mary's just gonna be like, "Oh, that beeping sounds rather loud. Is that your guys' machine?
It is.
What does the beeping mean?"
Intense or high pickups of negative energy.
Is that
During.
is it dangerous, or should I get out of the house or something, or what do you think?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
You can just have to check it out and see what's up with that.
All right. So then I'll stay your guys' way. I'll be in the kitchen, finishing up dinner and stuff. If you guys need anything, just let me know. So she's gonna go into the kitchen and just start, keeping herself busy. She looks obviously worried because this is her family here and stuff, and she's
Yeah.
very confused about all of this new stuff. But she seems thankful that you guys are here.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the laundry room, who's walking in first?
Yeah. This is her.
So, when you walk in, the lights are off, and you can't see a single thing. You can't even see your Roomba, but you can feel the light switch to your right.
How big is the room?
The room is probably 10 by 10, so it's not very big. It looks like it. It's hard to describe since you guys can't see it yet. I can tell you more about it once you turn the light on,
Okay.
because there's something special here. So you flip the light on. So as you flip the light on, you see the laundry machine, like you see the washer and the dryer, and this little like basin sink, and it's all just floating. And as the light comes on, everything just falls back to the ground. Like everything was floating like just a solid 5 feet off the ground.
Even the washer and dryer?
Even the washer and dryer.
Oh dang! So everything in there was floating.
Everything was floating. Every single item in this room was floating.
Okay.
Even the Roomba was floating.
Huh. Poor Roomba.
My poor Roomba!
And it falls to the ground.
Nothing ate you.
And it just beeps sadly like 2 times, and you see a little red light on your Roomba, and it doesn't look like it's functioning right now.
I pick up our sad Roomba and I like put it in the gong.
Aww. Poor Roomba.
Maybe you should
I hold my Roomba the rest of the time.
Andy just like runs in, and he's just like, "What are you doing in here? What was that sound?
And the dustbin.
Are you guys breaking stuff?"
No, we are not. We're just investigating.
That sounded pretty loud for just investigating. Aren't you just supposed to be looking around and then leaving?
Everything's fine.
That didn't sound
that's
fine. That was a
wrong.
really loud crash.
Sir? You know what we're doing. Just let us do our job and let us help you.
If you guys break anything here, I'm kicking you out immediately.
Just go back to watching your thing. We got this.
Nothing will be broken by these hands.
By these hands. So he's gonna just walk away. He's kind of huffy now. He seems like he's in a worse mood than he was before.
And I
I mean, he's basically a Karen. Carol. Carl.
No.
Oh my god.
His name has to be changed.
No. Do you want to look around this laundry room anymore? Or-
Yes.
There is definitely something here, and we can't just ignore the fact everything flew up like 5 feet and then just dropped.
Would you like to roll investigate a mystery then, Luna?
Let's do it. 7
Nice. And
plus
then
1 is 8.
cool. So you get to ask me one of those questions.
I'm thinking between the question what happened here and what was it going to do. Which one do you think?
I could probably.
Which one?
Either what happened here or what was it going to do. But we don't know what it is, so we don't know about that
Probably
question.
what happened here.
Yeah. Or like what just happened? Can we ask something like that?
Yeah, you can ask what just happened.
So
I can
what
tell you
just
more about that.
happened? What just happened?
So essentially, in your guys' career of just facing all these weird, like supernatural things, you've only encountered a few things that can do what that just was.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know it to either be something with telekinetic power, or a spirit with some type of levitation power. And upon closer, like, looking at, like, the room and stuff, like, as you're kind of just going around, seeing all the things that were floating, you notice that not the dryer, but the washer was actually bolted down to the ground. Like, you can see where, like, those bolts were, like, connected to the ground and screwed in.
So what if this frostwork was really strong? It unbolted some screws.
Like, you can't even see the screws anymore. They're just long gone. You just see the holes where they were supposed to be.
Okay.
So, you told me when you set up your equipment, you guys had some computer stuff too?
Yes.
Where would you like to set up the computer stuff? Or where is the computer stuff set up? Like, assuming you guys put everything up in place before looking into things.
I would say in the same room that we were when we were talking to that little girl.
Okay.
But like against the wall and everything.
Cool. So, what kind of things do your computer equipment pick up usually?
Waves of energy.
Cool. You guys do any, like, camera or audio work or anything with it too, or?
A little bit of audio, not too much camera.
Okay. So, would you guys like to check that stuff too?
Sure.
Who's checking it?
I can.
Alright, so what do you check first? Are you checking for the waves or are you checking the audio?
Probably the waves.
So, how big of an area does it kind of reach out? Is it like the whole house, or does it do room by room?
Probably like more like level,
Okay.
because the floor, like the ceiling or the floor above is
So,
kinda, like difficult to read through.
so we'll be getting everything in the living room, maybe the kitchen too.
Yeah.
So it's
Depending
probably,
on where we're
it's more of like a room by room thing.
Okay.
So then like the reading won't be like everywhere. It's kind of like specified so you can like clear out each
Cool.
as you go.
So you notice checking it that the waves are pretty weak in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty weak in the kitchen, but they're stronger than they were in the living room. So it looks like it might be like kind of leading a path.
Mm-hmm.
Out from the living room or like into?
Out from the living room. So it's gonna go living room, kind of weak, kitchen right next to it, a little bit stronger, and then you can notice that the levels as you go further in the kitchen kind of rise.
Okay. And then does it get stronger in the laundry room we're just in? So
Yeah.
just the thing ends there?
And it cuts off there.
Okay.
It's sort of like a uphill, like it's going up, and then it's just a sharp drop in there.
Is there an upstairs?
There is.
Directly above the laundry room?
There is.
Is her
Which room
bedroom?
is that? Is that the little girl's room?
Yeah, can we go see her?
You could
room?
you could either go upstairs or you could ask Mary about the layout. Whatever's easier, whatever you'd like to do more.
I think we probably just go upstairs first. ourselves.
Cool.
Not
Check
worry
out her
her. She'd
room.
probably get too worried and not give us all the information we need.
So when you go up the stairs, you notice that the second floor isn't very big, but
Mhm.
there's 4 doors down the hallway, 2 on each side. The first one closest to you on the left looks like it's the bathroom. The one right to the right of that looks like it's the master bedroom where Andy and Mary sleep. And then right next to that, the room on the right is Addison's room, which is right above the laundry room. And then the door across from that is just completely shut. So you're not quite sure what room that would be. But the other ones are open.
Do you want to know what that closed door room is?
Probably.
Can we go back downstairs, like one of us speak our head like down that
Yeah,
one
for sure.
staircase and be like, "Hey, Mary."
And she's gonna just kind of like walk over kind of the little entryway out from the kitchen. Yeah, what's up?
And it's like, what is this room next to your daughter's bedroom?
I actually don't know what that room is. The
You've
lock?
never been inside?
What do you
No, the lock on it broke. It locks from the inside, and I can't get in there without breaking down the door. But we didn't really see the need to break it down. We don't really have the money to fix it, so.
How long have they had this house? Has it always been locked, or did it get locked during the time here?
It's always been locked during my time here.
Okay.
I've only been here for about 2.5 years, but Andy originally bought this house.
Okay, so should we go try to bug Andy about the room?
Nah.
Okay. So then we're like, okay, we're
So,
going
like-
upstairs.
But there's a keyhole.
We tried to jimmy it open, we tried to pick it, but all of the stuff we had in there just like broke.
Okay.
Get the robot.
Get the
There's definitely the remote found underneath the door.
I don't think you'll fit underneath the
So we go into the little girl's room. We check what she's doing. Is she in her corner again?
She's not in her corner, she's sitting on her bed, staring at the doorway. So like,
At us when we walk
yeah,
in?
as soon as you walk in,
And
like
then
she's just
we
making
say
direct eye
hi.
contact.
Say hi.
Hello.
And then we just ask her what she's up to. Small conversation, but we also kind of like are taking a look around a little bit. But
I'm
not like
just,
digging through
you know,
stuff. We're just like, look.
I'm just resting.
Okay.
She looks like her eyes are just like wide open, like she hasn't slept in like God knows how long.
So the corner that she normally goes to, is that the corner that's like right against the room next to her that we don't know about?
The corner she goes to is usually the corner in their parents' room.
Parents' room. Okay.
Do you hear the voice right now?
Me too.
Do you always hear it?
Not always.
What's it saying now?
It says sorry
For what?
for the metal robot.
He's apologizing for attacking my room.
Aw.
I don't know
You
what
know
it
what? Let
means.
the ghost stay.
Let the ghost stay.
Aw.
Gross.
It's like, okay, so the little spirit guy says sorry for breaking our Roomba or messing with our Roomba.
It's not safe
Wait,
here.
wait, wait.
For us or for you and your family?
I don't know. It just says it's not safe here.
In this room? Where we? Okay, how can we ask?
Maybe the spirit. Oh my god. Maybe the spirit is
It
the friend of the child, trying to protect it from something bigger and stronger in the house. Yes.
Can we ask the child, like, is the voice nice to you?
Usually.
Usually. Does it
Does-
hurt you?
No.
Okay, so it's
Does she
usually
ever have
nice to you.
nightmares?
Oh yeah, yeah. You in the email she mentioned she has nightmares.
Okay.
Sleep paralysis.
Do you? Okay, wait. Do you see the voice right now, or do you just hear it?
I just hear it.
Do you ever see anything?
Sometimes.
Like what?
A lady.
And that's not the voice.
I don't know. The voice doesn't really sound like a man or a woman. It's just a voice.
Can you ask the voice where it is safe?
Where's it safe? Didn't say anything back.
Have we established, so does the girl actually talk back and forth with the voice?
It seems like she might, but every time you guys have a question for her to
she
ask,
doesn't.
yeah,
So
it
is
might
it-
be like shy.
Okay. Shy little spirit. Face real buff.
Pour one out for the homie.
Okay. What if the ghost, the spirit, was the owner of this house beforehand? And is one of the spirits from there, and he had a really, that spirit had a very bad history here, and now it's haunting the place. Maybe that room. We need to get into that room.
And because he died there, or the spirit died there, it made the house cheaper. And
Possibly.
they can't afford much.
Yeah, and they came in here, and then now the spirit, it's, what if there's two spirits? There's the nice one and the bad one, and
Mhm.
that's the one that she suffers through, like in her nightmares and stuff. Because this spirit doesn't seem like it's hurting her.
Does the do you see the old lady?
Maybe the old
Now
lady
in
and the
dreams?
voice is two different things.
Right.
She likes mirrors.
Like Bloody Mary.
It's her mother.
It's her mother.
I got down.
So is the mother.
Okay. So she's the woman. Have you ever seen the woman in a mirror?
Yeah.
Which mirror?
All
Can you
of
show
them.
us?
Yeah.
Oh shit! How many mirrors you got? Okay.
You notice, just thinking back, like hearing that comment, you remember seeing at least two in the living room, and then seeing one in the kitchen when you pass by, and then
Bathroom mirror.
bathroom
So
mirror.
two in the living room, one in the kitchen.
There's a big vanity in her room too. It looks like it's kind of weird that that's there for her. It's much bigger than she is, and it looks like an adult woman would probably use that.
Okay.
But that's like just pressed up against the far wall in the room.
So what if there's like, so there's maybe two spirits, one nice one, one not so much.
What
I
do we
think
do
the
now?
woman-
We have to figure it out.
Can we investigate more so we
Yeah.
can keep asking questions?
Oh, we can?
Absolutely. Any of the
Oh.
things that you see on the list of the Hunter agenda, you can do any of those whenever you'd like, not just when I tell you to.
Oh, okay.
I see. Do you want to read a bad situation? Oh no, this is probably not a bad situation.
No. Because what if, okay, so there seems to be like a mirror in every single room
For the most part.
for the most part. So I'm guessing we have to figure out which spirit is which, but it seems like the voice one is nice. The woman one does seem to talk, but she appears more often. Did you say that it appears in her dreams? Like the nightmare?
Her mom does not know. She didn't put that in the email at all.
Okay.
You can always ask the little girl any questions you have about her dreams, though.
Yeah. Because if not, like, what if the woman is the nice one that appears in mirrors, and she's the one looking out for the house using the mirrors that's kind of like in every single room. But also, the evil
Yeah.
person could do that too, just keeping an eye on them.
Maybe an old couple used to live there, and he killed his wife, and then killed himself.
Never
They're
know.
both haunted in the place because they're stuck there.
So we asked the little girl, do you remember any of your dreams?
They're usually just really terrifying. I
Do
remember
you
falling
mind
once.
sharing us with one of the dreams you remember?
Falling.
Yeah, I remember falling.
Where were you falling? Or what were you falling off of?
A building.
A tall building?
Yeah, it was really tall. I woke up before I hit the ground, but it felt like I was falling forever.
Do you want to investigate a mystery cat?
Sure. I'm really on your roll.
You would be rolling if she wants you to investigate it.
I have 9. Plus 1 is 10.
So you get to ask me 2 questions.
2 questions.
Nice.
What is being concealed here?
In where?
Hmm?
In where?
In her room, maybe?
Her room, her dreams. It's as vague as you want it to be. You can ask that with whatever you're curious about.
So what is being concealed about her dream of just falling forever?
She seems to be hesitant about talking about the dream. And you notice too that as she brings up the dream, there's a noticeable shift in temperature in the room.
Is it getting colder?
Much colder.
This is real supernatural.
Oh damn.
And you have one more question. You don't have to ask it now if you don't
Do you want
want
to save the question?
But it would have to
Might
be.
as well just ask it now, though.
Okay. So we know the room temperature is getting colder. Okay, so knowing what we know, where we kind of came up with like a theory about like nice spirit, bad spirit. There's 2.
Mhm.
There's 1. We're gonna ask what happened here in like in this room, because that Vanny does not seem to believe it came with her family that has been here with the house, and since they moved in, we're speculating that the woman she's seeing might be the original owner of this house. So what happened here?
So, what you notice about this specific room is that in the email, her mom told you how she was drawing strange pictures.
Yes.
You assumed that that meant she was drawing, weird stuff on paper. But as you look
Oh.
around, it's on her walls.
Okay.
So there are pictures on her walls, specifically next to the vanity, kind of in the corner. It's something that you wouldn't see unless you were directly looking for it.
Okay.
Wait, did she draw them on the wall, or did she like draw them on paper and put them on the
It's drawn right onto the wall.
wall? Okay. So are these from your nightmares, or where did you get these pictures?
I just felt them. Like, inside me, like right in my chest. It felt like I had to draw this.
Okay, we're gonna go investigate the pictures and see what we can read off of that.
So upon looking at the pictures, you're kind of shocked that a 6-year-old would draw anything similar to what's being depicted. You see little stick figures just like bleeding. You see what looks like a sharp object, but it doesn't seem to have any real form. It just has a point and it's got a handle. You see a row of people that are like lined up and they look like they're a family, but they all have like X'd out eyes. They don't have mouths. And one of them does not have legs. Then everything else is kind of just like scribbles and sort of illegible. Looked like they were trying to attempt sentences, but they don't look like anything you can read.
Okay, so there were.
So why are there no mouths?
Because they don't have voices.
Does the voice speak for them?
No, it just speaks. It doesn't say anything about others. It usually speaks to me kind of,
So there's a sharp object.
it's not really clear.
Is it a knife?
I don't know.
So there's a sharp object, and then there's obviously a family that got like killed or murdered because there's X eyes, blood is everywhere. So the knife, probably the one, or whoever had
Are they
it.
dead?
I don't know. I just drew them. I don't know who they are.
Well, is one of them the lady that you see?
I don't feel like it is.
Do you recognize this lady from anywhere else?
The one that I see?
Yes.
I've never seen her before.
Does she look? Can you describe how the lady looked like to
Yeah,
us?
yeah. She was really tall, and she had really long hair, and she walked weird.
She's the one with the no leg.
She walked really strange. Like she had to go to the bathroom. Her eyes are really pretty. but every time I looked into them, I forgot things.
So the lady, I think it's the person on the wall that has the weird no legs type of thing.
And as she's like talking to you, she just gets up and leaves. She just starts walking down the hall without
You
saying
follow.
a word.
We follow. You but silently.
As you go to follow, the door to her room just slams in front of you.
Like locking us in?
Yeah.
Oh, we ain't doing this. Okay, we're thinking about retirement. Just kidding.
I mean, marathon period.
Carolina, would you roll me read a bad situation?
She got
6.
6.
Do you have a sharp to add?
I don't think so.
I think you got
Yeah, +1.
Ooh, that's good. That's good.
So 7.
You get to add. You get to ask me one question from the list of read a bad situation. There's a
What's
couple.
my best way out?
Your best way out. I would assume you tried to open the door, even though it shut in your face. It's incredibly locked, despite the fact that the lock is inside. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Despite the fact that the lock is inside and you can touch the lock, it is not budging.
You scared cat.
Oh, is there a ghosty in here or not?
Yes.
Yes.
So your best way out to you is the window.
Frick yeah, let's jump out a window.
It's a second-story window, though.
No,
Well,
definitely
you
don't
can
jump.
live. You can live.
Don't you break your legs
Is
though?
Daniel here watching that really bad movie?
Yeah, he was.
Christ.
Well, no, I wasn't here watching it. He was working, but he went and watched it.
Daniel's a legend.
Yes,
Oh.
well. Wait, you can't jump out the window. You're breaking your legs.
First of all,
It's
the
not.
average floor of a house is 10 feet.
I was gonna say it's not as tall as a lot of other houses would be since it's so
Okay.
small.
So our best way out is out the window.
So
Out the
next you're
window.
down
Wait.
like 15.
Wait, you can't fight the ghost?
Wait, let's just climb onto the roof and then drop.
Well, they haven't seen it yet
Should we investigate
So why-
anything
so why-
first before
why-
we climb out?
because they got locked in the
Can
room.
we
Why,
investigate?
how did you get locked in the room?
The door shut as the little girl that was in there
Listen,
left.
You should have stayed.
So like if
Yeah,
we
good
called out to
job.
Mary to come up to try us out,
You could.
she can't open from that side either.
She would be locked out naturally, and it would
Okay.
look as if you guys locked it yourselves.
So then she would just tell us to unlock it and
You know,
stuff.
she wouldn't be
We're like-
helpful.
Wait, couldn't you just break in the door?
If they have something to break
Sam,
it,
have
if
you
they
tried to
wanted
watch
to.
the Supernatural?
We're not throwing
You
our
can't
big
break
room
down the
onto it.
doors.
They
Yeah,
were
jump out the window though.
they were threatened earlier that if they broke anything, they'd be kicked out immediately.
It's true.
So we break in the window too with
Okay,
also
okay,
windows.
so-
Well, the window's not
Window.
broken.
Okay, so the room adjacent next to the little girl's that's been locked since, ages, does it feel like it was locked the same way or like closed the same way as
It-
we are now?
Yeah, the lock is on the inside, so they would
Okay.
either need the key or they need to sneak in.
Or break
Okay.
it
No,
down.
we can't break into them.
Okay, so we choose to climb up. Is there a tree? Can we stand on a giant tree trunk?
Personally, I'm going to walk across the roof.
You're gonna walk across the roof.
Okay, on the roof. Is
And
there a
then-
window in that next room?
What, bro?
If someone wants to walk over and look,
What?
that's the only
I
thing I
do
can tell
it.
you.
I do it.
37 photos.
So I go out first, okay?
Are you cool with that, Carolina?
See it.
Yes.
So as you go out,
Jeez.
the window slams shut.
See, there we go.
So then now she's locked
She's
in.
locked in.
I'm on the outside.
You're on the
See, told you
outside.
you shouldn't have gone for it.
And
Okay.
as you're on the outside,
Okay.
you see the vanity because like it's the perfect spot for you to see the vanity.
Oh,
you s-
the little girl's room?
Yeah, and then,
Alright.
and in the mirror, you see a lady
Oh shit.
with piercing white eyes and like black streaks down her face.
So then,
Like tears, crying mascara?
Yeah. Or it might be blood. It's pretty far, so.
Okay, so her eyes.
and this is
White
where
out.
is this at?
This is in a little girl's bedroom.
Okay, well, first of all, I'm holding on to I also
Yeah.
bang on the glass, tell her to turn around. to look inside the vanity. What does she see when she turned around?
Do you turn around? You turn around and you don't see anything.
No balls.
But I still see it.
You still see it.
No balls. Just show my window.
Damn.
I will.
So then, what you say? Would you use lever then? I
Can
would
we
leave
still
it.
talk? Can she hear me through the window?
I would
She can still hear you.
Okay.
I would say.
I like literally scream, the lady is inside the mirror.
Frick yeah, let's break the mirror.
No, that's 7 years of bad luck.
Oh my god.
Or death. What?
But she still doesn't see
The
nothing every
ghost
time she
is
turns around.
totally-
She
She's
still
like-
can't see
she's like,
anything in
what
the
the hell
mirror
are
at
you
all.
talking- But then like she's trying a window too, but she can't get that.
Right, the window will not open.
Oh, okay. So what is our game plan here? Because I still see the lady.
You still see the lady.
So
yeah.
like I turn around and there's nothing there.
There's nothing
No.
there. You can't see it.
So
at
now
all.
you're possessed.
I'm not possessed though, because I can still warn you about it.
I'm just kidding.
Okay, but what does the lady do to me? She's just staring at me?
She's
I'm so confused.
looking at Michaela, and as she's doing that, you can see out the corner of your eye something kind of slide under the door and start to kind of levitate in, and it
Towards
looks
Michaela?
like towards Michaela.
Does it look like it's about to harm her?
It looks like a knife,
Yes.
No.
Oh my
No.
gosh. Yes.
but she can't. see
Okay,
it.
but like, can I do something to protect her?
I can't see it.
Don't
You
you
can't
have-
see it because
Exactly.
you're not looking at
I'm a
Oh,
witchy
okay. So
witch.
what if I
You're a
turn
witchy
around?
witch.
If you turn, you're looking at the vanity because she's pointing at the vanity. But you're not
But
seeing the
she can't see that knife coming to
no
her. She
because
can't
it's
see the
it's
shadow.
on the ground, sliding under the door.
You have glasses.
Okay, but then
But you can see it because you're looking that whole wall.
okay. So then
So
like
then
I
you try
bang
to
at
do
her
a
to
single
like
s-
kind of look around, or like I
Yeah.
say like look at like it's coming from the door.
Yep.
I say the door, so she could look change her focus to the door.
Damn.
Does she see it then, so she can
Yeah.
protect herself?
Would you like to roll act under pressure?
Oh, yes, I would.
Okay, let me just go.
Wait,
This ain't over
wait,
yet.
wait, what are you rolling for?
She got a 7.
You get a 7.
Is there anything plus or anything?
You would add your cool stat. Do you have?
Negative.
Oh. Oh, that's a
No.
failure.
No.
Oh no, it's the first one.
Did
of the
she
night.
get hurt?
Oh, she's gonna get hurt for
No.
sure. So here's what you do.
On your
You
sheet,
should have rolled
you're
better.
gonna go ahead and
You
you're gonna
should
mark
roll
your
better.
first box of experience down there.
Damn.
So,
Hard. Okay.
well, that's coming next. So you're still focused on that vanity. You're worried that there's something in that vanity, and as you're looking, the knife is gonna like wiggle underneath the door, and it's gonna slide a little bit. It's gonna angle itself upwards, and it's gonna launch at your shoulder, dealing you 1 harm.
Oh, so you gotta fuck up.
So you get a knife in your shoulder now.
And Kat's is like, oh no.
Holding on
no,
to
what can I do?
the roof seal, you know, because I'm balancing on the roof right now. So.
I'm also going to give you a hard choice too.
Ooh.
So, if you leave that knife in your arm, you won't bleed as much, and there's a potential that you won't take any more harm. But you have a knife in your arm now.
Forever?
Not forever, but like
The
for
remainder
now.
Of the house.
The wound won't get any worse if you take it, if you leave it in.
We'll wait to get out.
But there's still the chance that anything will happen to that knife while it's in you.
Take it out.
Or you can take it out and you'll take another thing of harm and you'll have to stop bleeding. Like you'll have to figure out a way to stop the bleeding.
Do you know how badass you'd be just
Leave
ripping a
it.
freaking knife out of your shoulder?
Leave it in.
You're leaving it in?
Yeah.
Alright.
So I think you should apply some pressure to that.
Just put
Just
pressure to
shove
the
the
knife.
Oh
Take another
no,
knife
no.
And start jiggling it out.
God.
Oh god.
Damn.
But now that this knife is in your shoulder, you see the lady in the vanity now. You see her piercing white eyes just look
Does
at
she
you.
look evil?
She does not look happy.
So we break in the mirror.
You
no,
break in the mirror?
no. Is
No.
she angry that Michaela got hurt, or was she the one inflicting the pain?
I can't tell you
But
that.
also, why would breaking the mirror stop the ghost from
That's
being
what they
there?
did in Supernatural.
I feel like if she appears in all the mirrors. When you break this mirror, she'll just gonna appear in the other mirror.
There's not another mirror in this room.
Not in this room, so we won't be able to keep an eye
Wait, so
on
is
her.
so is this,
and
is this
she'll
the
show
little
up.
girl's room or is it a different
Yeah,
room?
it's a little
Yeah.
girl's room.
Can
So-
they break into the room where they need to go?
But, oh my god!
Beautiful.
I got screamed by him knocking on the door. And you can't just peek through the door.
Beautiful.
Okay?
a knife for all.
Lesson.
It absolutely is. So,
Okay,
Go
I'm
on.
fine. I'm fine.
you've got a knife in your arm. You can see the spirit. What do you want to do?
Definitely not break the
Mirror.
mirror. We're
Yes,
not breaking
breaking
the
the
mirror. No,
mirror.
look at. We have other people in this house. If you break the mirror, I can probably guarantee you she's gonna show up on another mirror reflection service.
Dyson.
No, we're not actually the
If
dad.
you kiss
I
her,
rolled
she
a
might get
10.
offended.
Oh my god.
Oh, I didn't think
Okay.
about that. Sam is a genius.
What
What?
did Sam say?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
I
We're
said-
not
I said
breaking-
you
Ooh, I
should
rolled
kiss
an
her.
11. Can I roll
We're
a
not
12?
gonna
You
break
got this.
Can I
the
get
mirror.
the straight?
Okay.
Nope.
I will
Oh.
literally
3.
remove the knife to break the mirror.
No.
You have weapons
No,
too,
I-
I'm pretty sure.
Do I?
No,
You
no,
should.
no.
On your back
Warrior.
sheet, it should tell you which weapons you can pick.
God, I can't handle another scare, guys. Oh.
Someone text Bruno to come in.
No, please, no. Okay.
Alright, get a queen.
Ooh, what do you do? What do you find? Oh no, here they are. Your special weapon.
Daniel, why?
Daniel.
That's being
Damn,
recorded right
Daniel.
now. There's a bomb. Everyone get out.
Oh my god. We got a Mr. Burns. I'm gonna keep this away from
Daniel son. Alright, so for your gear, you get a special weapon. So you get to choose the form of your weapon here, and then, like, let's say you do a staff or a handle or chain. Anything in this list is what's going to be on the end of your weapon. So, like, if you do a chain, you could have a bladed chain.
Frick yeah.
if you want that.
You're not using those to break the mirror.
But mark down whatever you would like for your special weapon. And if you want to attack the mirror, you're gonna roll kick some ass.
Oh my god.
Can I attack the ghost?
You're not
You
touching
can't.
anything.
Well, the ghost is in the mirror, so theoretically.
Mhm.
I just want to say, I think you guys are doing really well. I'm very proud of you both.
Okay.
This is fun.
You're not breaking anything. If anything, what can I do in this situation, do you think?
Well, you have two options. You could eat one. You probably have multiple options, but the two big ones I would say is if you want to get back into that room, you could break the window,
I could break the window,
or
but
you could try to go around, get back into the house. Like if you wanted to climb down and go back in and even see where Addison went. See from the other side of the door what's going on.
I should go back in the window to stop you from breaking the frickin' mirror.
Do you want to roll act under pressure?
But I also feel like I could like slide over to peek through the other adjacent to the next window to see what's in that mystery room.
So you have several different things you can do here. You can either use the hunter move act under pressure to respond directly to that situation. You could do read a bad situation to figure out how to best respond to the situation you're currently in being
Okay.
on
Because
that
I don't.
side.
Because I feel like if I take my eyes off of her, she's gonna do something reckless, and
Also, you have magic too.
I do.
So one of your hunter moves is use magic. So essentially, for using magic, a 7 and 9 means it works imperfectly. You choose what your magic does, and then I give you a glitch for that.
Okay.
If you get a 10 plus, the magic works without issue. You get to
Okay.
choose the effect. And if you get a 12 or higher, then I will give you some added benefit to whatever you would like to do with your magic.
Okay.
So you've got a lot of options here.
Yes. What do you think I should do with your bleeding arm right now?
Me?
Yeah.
Don't worry about me.
Goodness gracious! Oh
I've
goodness
been here
gracious.
before.
I love this duo of ghost hunters. This is great.
Okay, I'm gonna do read a bad situation.
Cool. Go ahead and roll.
Oh, please be a good number. I also really died tonight. I literally got a 4. But technically that's a 5, but I feel like that's nothing
That's
anyway.
not good, yeah.
Damn, we died.
So
we didn't
here's
die,
the good thing.
but
With
no.
failing on read a bad situation, nothing bad will happen to you. You're just gonna fail to notice other things.
Okay.
So you get to mark a point of experience on your sheet. So you're one step closer to leveling up.
Okay.
And
I'm sorry I failed you.
Can I
essentially,
read a bad situation now?
yeah, if you'd like to, or if you want to fight that mirror, you do kick some ass.
You know
Or-
what? I won't. Because if we're supposed to later on, I'm gonna be like, I told you so.
What I think we could do is if we can get back on the both same side of each other, whether you're on my side or inside, we break every single mirror except for one, trapping the lady into one mirror only.
That's a
Can
good
she appear in reflective stuff like glass?
No one has confirmed that or debunked that yet.
But
You'd
so
have to
far
ask
she's
Addison.
showing up in mirrors, so if we can isolate it, less harms, so she can't just keep appearing in different mirrors.
Yeah.
We isolate her and we attack from there. But there's two spirits to worry about. What was that shadow thingy with the knife? Was that the levitation guy? Or a person?
Who's to know? Who's to say? Not who's to know. Only you guys are to know.
We have
Who's
to check on
say?
the human beings if they're still alive in the building.
They should be.
Fortified?
Was that for real a bad situation? Oh god.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So mark some experience, my dude. So you guys are both just like trying to figure out how to get on the same side of anything right now. And you're both kind of freaking out. You're like, what the fuck is going on?
Because, so we definitely in our field of like career, of not ghost busting, we have dealt something similar to this malevolent energy,
Yeah.
not as strong, but we have never actually deal with this creature before. Because that's why we can't figure out what it is from all the tiny little clues we've picked up.
That makes sense.
So therefore, we're out of our comfort zone because we don't know
Just a bit.
exactly what we are dealing with.
So I would say you on the outside right now, you're hanging on to sort of what is, you know, those little wooden terraces.
Yeah.
So there's one of those deals hanging over there, and you got like one hand on the ledge of the window, and then you got your feet planted on the terrace, and then there's a ledge a couple feet to your right that you could jump to, possibly. And as you guys are trying to figure out what's going on in the room, how to get back in, what's in the room, one of the little latches that your foot is on snaps, and you're just hanging now.
Now I'm just hanging.
Well, can she let go?
She can let go if she wants.
How far am I off the ground?
You're
But
probably
less than 10 feet.
less than 10 feet.
Less than 10 feet.
That's like
Am I good lander?
that's like literally this room.
Okay.
But I will tell you that there are some bushes right underneath where you're at, and you're not quite sure what type of bushes those are.
So they could be like spiky.
They could be spiky.
And poisonous?
They could
Why
be
would you
poisonous.
have poisonous bushes around your house?
Why would you not just
It's a cheap house. You could
like
try
monkey
it.
bars
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
around the house?
to the closest. So what is
What if
there's?
can
You
jump
said there
off?
was that other terrace
Yeah,
right
yeah.
next to where I can jump to.
It's
Can I
like-
reach that from dangling and just scoot myself over
You,
there
you
and
probably
pull
could.
myself up
Mhm.
to that one?
Do you want to roll act under pressure to
That
get there?
is what I'm gonna do.
And
We
I'll
gotta
let you.
live.
I'll let you do it with advantage. So essentially, roll twice,
Oh,
and you take the higher roll.
okay. We can do one at a time. 7. Do I have to add anything?
Your cool stat.
0.
So you have 7, and then roll again.
7.
All right.
14.
So 7. I'm going to give you either a hard choice, a worse outcome, or a price to pay.
Okay.
So the hard choice I'm going to give you is you can either try to shimmy down and deal with the bushes,
Mm-hmm.
or you could try to climb up a bit and jump to the little terrace. But you might not make the jump.
What's going to determine if we make the jump?
I would say roll protect someone for the jump, because you'd be trying to protect yourself essentially. So either roll protect someone to make the jump, or just head down to the bushes and see how it goes. You wouldn't have to roll, I would just tell you how it goes.
I mean, you already got a knife in you. I could just fall in the bushes.
What if they're spiky?
You have a knife in you.
But what if they are spiky?
Fine, I will do the protect someone. We're gonna try to do this leap jump, okay? This is what we're
Alright.
training for. The more experience, the
Fred,
better.
Yeah.
if we don't make a jump, we're gonna fall probably in mysterious bushes anyways.
So what you want here is you want a 7 or higher. Ideally, you want a 10 or higher.
You just rolled a 7. Keep it up. 8.
Eight.
We got an 8.
Nice. So here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna go to like climb up, and you're gonna kind of swing yourself over.
Yes.
And as you swing yourself over, you just barely grab onto it with your hands, and you scrape your left hand, and you're gonna take 1 harm.
Okay.
But that harm is very minimal. So as long as you don't do anything to your left hand that would hurt it further,
Okay.
in a little bit that harm can be healed, and you can erase that.
Take it.
So now that you're on this little awning, what would you like to do from the awning?
Like I'm on top. Like I'm not
Yep.
dangling no more.
You're not dangling anymore.
So I look if there's a way in.
So you notice that there's not like a window that this is connected to, but you can reach the roof from here. And if you were to reach the roof, you remember from when you pulled up, there was a little window right on the front that looks like it might have been the attic.
Do it.
Going in the attic.
Yes, we're going to save my parents the knife wound.
Cool. So you totally like get over there like no sweat. Like you run over, you climb in, the window's not even locked, but it's dark as all hell in here.
Do I have my phone on me?
Yeah, for sure.
I turned on the flash fan.
All the way up.
All the way up, and then you're like,
You crank
with
that
my
flash.
tiny little knife out.
Yeah, you
That's
crank
right,
that
that's
flash, and the first thing you see is just a bunch of fucking mirrors.
Shit, no, hell
There's
no,
a
hell
fuck
no.
ton of mirrors in this
Hell-
attic.
Hell no.
This is literally a supernatural.
Like, there's more than 10 of these bitches in here.
Okay, but is the lady
they-
there?
Okay.
No.
Are they
Okay.
like vanities? Are they hand mirrors? Are they like
There's
full
a
body
mixture
mirrors?
of everything. There are full body mirrors.
Okay,
There are
okay.
little tiny
Is there any
ones.
light source that I can pull, like a light switch or like a pulling string light? Because it's the attic.
Yeah, for sure. So you look around and you see like a couple feet to your right, there's definitely a pulley light that you can totally just pull
Pull
on.
that as fast as I can. Also being freaked out with all the mirrors.
You pull that light on and you feel a chill on the back of your neck.
Shit.
And
Maybe
you-
she doesn't like the light.
You hear a voice.
Oh damn, this is the same voice a little.
It's a soft whisper, and it just says, "Get out."
Oh shit.
Why do I do this?
How do I-
Why do I do this for a living?
So back to you in the room. You've got this knife in you, and the spirit doesn't appear in the mirror anymore.
Okay, shit. I checked the door.
Go for it. So you check the door, and as you go to unlock it, it's completely unsealed. Like, you're good. You can go right through. And right on the other side, you see Addison just looking up at you. And she's just like, "Why did you shut the door?"
Why did you shut the door? What the heck?
Whoa.
"I didn't shut the door. I went to the bathroom."
It was just a
"What happened to your arm?"
Wait, do you hear the voice right now?
"No.
Do you see anything?
I see the knife in your arm. Are you okay?"
No, I'm literally dying.
You don't tell that to a little girl.
I don't care about the kid.
She's just like, "You know what?" And she starts to, like, tear up.
No way.
Ah.
So do you feel anything different in your room?
I feel sad.
Why?
She just points at your knife.
Oh.
She's worried about you.
So, do you know how to get into your attic?
It's a
Wait,
little-
do I know where she is?
You don't know where she is. You just assume she's still outside.
Okay, well, I guess I go back into the room with the little girl. Can I, like, bring her along with me?
Yeah, you can take her wherever you'd like to take her.
Okay, so we both go into the room. And
And-
then I look out the window for you.
She's just completely gone. The window's not even, like, locked anymore. You can open it super easy.
Okay, so I open the window now,
Yeah.
and I follow your path.
Alright.
With the little girl?
No,
Okay.
she can stay.
That's fair. That's probably for the best.
Right.
Following her path, you see what looks like blood on that little terrace over there. Not a lot, but a little bit. So, I assume you're like, "Oh yeah, that looks important," so you go over there.
Bring the Roomba.
Don't forget our baby Roomba.
And as
I
you
have a
go
cute
over
little
there,
backpack. My Roomba's in there.
you can kind of see that attic window from where you're standing.
Right, yeah, okay, so we go over there.
It's still open from when Luna went through.
Mm.
And you climb in, and the first thing you see is just this giant, like, 10-foot, like, shadowy figure. It looks like it's got really sharp teeth and really long, like, claws, and it's directly behind Luna. And it's just breathing down her
Oh,
neck.
how the turntables have turned.
I tried warning you.
Oh, how the tables have tabled.
Well,
Do you
Can
want?
I yell at her?
Oh, you can yell at her. There's a lot of things you can do here. You can attack it yourself, kick some ass.
Oh, yeah,
You
let's
can
do
read
that.
a bad
Shove that
situation. You can act under pressure. You can protect someone.
We're kicking some ass.
Alright, so when you do kick some ass in this, essentially.
That's 7 years of bad luck.
So, every time you do kick some ass, no matter what, you're going to inflict harm to that thing, and it will inflict harm to you.
Taking one for the team. Let's
So, if you get a 7 to 9, harm is inflicted on both sides. If you get a 10 or more, then you either get to take one of two different effects. You get to gain the advantage, which means you get a +1 on every attack you make while fighting this monster, or you can give that +1 to another hunter,
Okay.
or you can suffer less harm, so when it goes to hit you back, it'll do less damage to you, or you can force them where you want them. That's on a 10+. What did you get?
6.
Do you have any tough though?
+2.
There you go. So you got an 8.
Break, yeah.
So you're gonna inflict harm to it, and it's gonna inflict harm to you. So what do?
damn, you're taking a lot of harm.
Describe this attack.
Oh no. I didn't think about this one.
Jump it, fight it, beat it up.
Okay, isn't it like a shadow though?
It looks like it's just pitch black, but it doesn't look like it's a normal shadow,
Doesn't
like
look
a person's shadow.
So it doesn't look solid.
It looks like if you made contact with it, something would happen.
So it has sharp teeth.
Very sharp.
Sharp teeth, big black figure. Is this the same little black lady that like drove the knife into her arm?
Possibly.
Okay.
You have a weapon.
Oh my god, my weapon.
Yeah.
But what if it's not solid and it just like, oh my god, wait, but get this, it's cold iron.
That's good for
Calm down,
spirits.
ghost.
That's good for
The ghost
spirits.
is going down. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay, there you go.
So describe this attack. Let us know how you're doing this.
Well, first off, I stand on the window. I go like this. And then I jump on it and I attack it
Sweet.
right in the spine.
Describe your weapon too for people who can't see your sheet, because I
Oh,
looked
yeah.
at your sheet.
Okay, candle, and then it has a blade, and it's cold iron, and it's long, and it's also throwable.
So it's like a staff or like a javelin kind of? Does that seem like something you
Long,
like?
I was kind of thinking like this.
Okay,
This
so like
Like so arms
sort of like
kinda
a short sword.
Yeah, so like from like elbow to fingertips.
Cool,
type of thing.
cool. So you chucking this? Are you charging
Oh no,
it?
we're jumping on this
Hell
and
yeah.
stabbing it
Do
right
it,
into
do
the
it,
spine.
do it,
So-
do it.
Placement. Luna thinks you're attacking her. Cause she's
She-
right in
I
front
don't
of
see it. Do I see the
You don't see it because it's behind you. So like
Oh, maybe you
all
should-
you see,
when I turn
is-
around?
if you would you turn around as she's jumping at you?
Oh, she
With the
probably
blade.
hears
Well,
it
I
from
probably
the
have to
window.
hear her. Therefore, I turn around to the noise with my phone flash.
So you'd be looking at her then.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's behind you still.
What?
So okay, so she turned.
So like
That's fine.
we got a window, and then you come in through the window.
Yeah.
So she'd be looking towards you,
Yeah.
and you can see this behind her because it's so much taller than she
Oh.
is.
I see. I thought that she had her back to me, and
Yeah.
the monster
No.
was between us.
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Okay.
We got the opposite. Her back is
Okay.
to the monster, and
So
you
then,
see the
in
monster.
that case, after my very lengthy practice of knife throwing, I yeet that
Hell yeah.
right into the chest.
So you go to you go to eat that and you successfully do it. Like it sticks in its chest and
Yeah.
it screams and then it just disperses.
Okay.
And
I
as
love
it does that, you see like this little twinkle in the smoke that's like right by it, and it launches like 2 little sharp talons at you, and they stick right in your shoulder, right around the knife,
What the?
and it's gonna deal you
Nice.
another harm.
Frick yeah. You're welcome.
Thank you.
I saved you.
It also screams out like this awful, hideous hissing sound before just dispersing the way it did. And you're just like, oh fuck, that was there.
Yeah, you're like, what the shit? And then you're like, and then like you get hurt, and then you're like trying to process everything that just happened.
Yeah,
And then you're like, oh damn, thanks. But like, are you okay? Are you good? What?
Don't worry about me.
Yeah, 'cause you
you
can-
got 2 black talons on you that could
and
be,
the
like,
knife.
and the knife. Those black talons could be poisonous, and like either the demon itself is now inserting itself into you with the talons and possessing you now.
How much harm do you have right now?
2,
Out of
6.
how
7.
far? Okay, cool. So the other thing too, with your harm, you can get unstable, and if you get enough harm to the point where you're unstable, bad side effects start happening from your injuries. Like you're going to start needing actual medical treatment or magical treatment.
You're
But-
magical.
Yes.
Magical treatment is not always guaranteed.
Okay, I have to go get more water.
Go for it.
Okay.
That is so valid. Water is good. Stay hydrated, fam.
Can I use magic to heal her little wounds now? Since
You
now we're in the same
absolutely
room.
You absolutely could.
But I would have to roll a really good number to help her. If
You
not, I'd
would,
probably
yeah.
make her pain worse, and then she might become unstable.
Yeah, because essentially, if you want the effect to be healing, and you roll lower than a 10,
So mine has to be a 10. 7 and 9.
7 and 9
is where there.
is it works imperfectly.
So there would be
So-
still some injuries.
What would happen would be your effect that you get to choose is you'd like to heal.
Mm-hmm.
And then me as the keeper, I put a glitch on there. So the glitches are the effect is weakened, the effect is of a short duration, you would personally take 1 harm, the magic draws immediate unwelcome attention, or there's a problematic side effect.
Okay.
So one of those things could potentially happen on a 7 to 9. 10 plus, you get exactly what you'd like, no issue. And on a 12 or higher, you get something extra.
Which one is that under help out?
That's just for use magic.
Use magic. So there's no add-on to it.
When you use magic, you would add your weird stat.
Where's that? Okay. I have 2.
Hey, that's good.
So
So in theory, you only need to roll
An
like a
8.
5 to get something,
yes.
or an 8 to get perfection, or
Yes.
close to it.
So if I get a 7 to 9, not a perfect 10,
Yeah,
I will take a harm. Will she lose a harm at least though?
yeah, for sure.
Okay, so then we'll
It will
both
heal at
be-
least something.
She'll be at 1 harm. I'll be at 2 harm. But at least she's 1 less.
Exactly.
You know what? We're a partnership. I'll be willing to do that.
It's worth it, honestly. And it's not even guaranteed you'll take harm. Like I'll choose what the effect is.
Exactly.
I might not do that one. There might be another one.
Exactly. I do that because both of us need to be both functionally stable to take whatever this thing down. We're like going in circles. We keep getting attacked and locked out.
Yeah, this ghost is not very nice to
No.
doors and exits and entrances.
No, it is not. So we need to make sure we stop locking each other out.
Yeah, no. Rule of like investigating is to never split up.
No.
But it
well,
doesn't always work that way.
Yeah, some of the stuff happened immediately. Because originally she was supposed to be right behind me climbing out.
And that's always something you gotta worry about with monsters. They're just like, ah yes, people are easier to fight when there's less of them.
We still have to figure out if it's 2 things or just 1 thing.
I like how much thought you guys are putting into investigating the mystery. You're doing really great.
Michaela's playing it like a superhero episode. She's very chaotic.
She is. That's
I'm definitely the calmer one.
I love this
In
duo.
this,
It's
I'm.
perfect.
That's why we balance here. This is how we work.
Hell yeah.
I'm the more stable brain when she isn't, and then we flip flop.
It's like, let's go. Time to just run into danger head first.
She definitely was like, "Let's break the mirror. Don't break the mirror. Don't break the mirror." It just stabbed me though. I'm breaking the mirror. Don't break the mirror.
If you break all of those mirrors in the attic, can you imagine how many years of bad luck that would be?
Dude, we hunt demons and ghosts for our career life to make a living. Bad luck will just boost our business. Inflicted on ourselves, but
We'll get an extra spooky future. And hopefully it's not a spooky future that is cut short.
I mean, you saw those mirrors, you break them.
It's at least 30 years bad luck. At least. I don't even know how old you guys are. How old is your character, would you say?
We are 23.
How many years have you guys been not ghost busting?
Not ghostbusting. Because we're not ghostbusting.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that one. I would say, for me at least, since I was 8.
So it's a solid 5 years?
Yeah.
Nice.
Mhm.
Nice. What made you want to get into the profession of ghost busting?
Somebody gotta catch 'em all.
Oh my god. I love that. That's a great answer.
I'm treating it like a game.
Were you born with magic, or did you learn how to do that along the way?
I found it along the way.
Nice.
But I guess it was like always there.
Yeah.
But it didn't show up until you needed it the most, and that's why it's like 18.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So after it showed up, did you kind of just teach it to yourself along the way, or did you have someone to help you?
You live and you learn, so yeah,
Fair.
on your own. You kind of just learn to conceal it, don't feel it.
Oh my god, how dare you! I can't believe you've done this. We just
you
confirmed
kind of do it. You kind of do it as like a survival tactic.
That's
type of
fair.
thing. You learn how to control it so that you can protect yourself and others.
We just learned that Luna's character is Elsa.
Yes.
Oh.
Sam was talking about a girl. I was like, I don't know how to give you advice for that.
Oof.
I'll try my best.
So as you were walking out, Luna was considering if she wanted to try to heal you with magic.
We
Okay.
both need to be functioning to solve this mystery.
Exactly.
Scooby Doo, coming after you.
I told her if she goes to use magic, that if she rolls a 7 and 9, it's gonna work imperfectly. So she'll heal you, but there's gonna be a weird glitch with it.
You
And
don't fuck up my body.
So.
What's new?
Wait.
You literally,
Damn.
you literally took a knife to you and 2 talons, and then you were like, "Let's break some mirrors." So,
Why not? Luna, we healing?
I'll do that.
Wait, what happened to her?
No,
So-
we
I
only her.
saved her, so now she has to kill me.
Oh,
Yeah,
I thought you got
It's
stabbed.
kind of like, you know.
She got stabbed 2 more times.
2 more?
In the same arm.
Yeah.
The same arm.
She's reckless.
Why didn't you just take out the black to begin with?
I don't want to bleed to death.
No, you just want
Well, if
7
you
years of
become the
bad
ghost,
luck.
you can fight the ghost.
No.
Makes perfect sense.
It does.
No, it doesn't.
What you got? What you got? Roll.
A 5. We got a 5 already.
Oh, that's good, that's
we
good.
Safe, we safe, right?
Actually, dear, yeah.
7 plus 9.
Did 9 total.
Mm-hmm. So we do
Alright.
heal some of you.
So, I get to pick a weird glitch for this. So, I'm going to say,
You actually don't heal. You get infected.
Nice.
so one of the glitches is it has a problematic side effect. So you're going to heal all of your harm. Essentially
Okay.
what's going to happen is as you heal, the knife and the talons fall out of your arm
What? Okay.
and the wounds close.
That's odd.
And as that happens,
Ghost.
you hear a voice.
Frick yeah. Let's go.
You hear a voice in your head,
Mm-hmm.
and the voice says, "Someone's going to die
Let's go.
tonight."
Well, who is it though? Is it Dad? Hopefully it's Dad. He's a jerk.
I take a harm, right?
No, you don't take a harm at all.
Oh, okay.
Well,
So,
Man, Carolina, you're shitty right now.
so here's the thing.
mm-hmm.
I'm going to need you, whenever you encounter the ghost, to roll me just a weird roll. So what you'll do is you'll roll your dice and you'll add your weird modifier whenever the ghost shows up.
Okay.
And depending on what happens with your roll, I'll tell you what happens to you.
Lit. Okay.
Cool. So now that you guys are recovered and you're together in the attic,
I'll just go here.
Judge Sam.
what would you guys like to do now?
Isn't it cold?
Christ.
We're in the attic still.
Yep.
Pray to God.
Freak.
We find a way downstairs, but we take the 2 talons and the knife for
Alright.
like evidence.
Cool,
And we go
cool.
to our little computer, and then we try to scan that computer.
So
That-
wait, a
that
knife
was
from
going
my
on.
shoulder or
Yes.
my blade?
Not your. Oh, we can take your blade too. So we take
Oh, yeah, yeah,
we
yeah.
take everything and then we put it in our computer to document it, but also see if we can pull something from it to help us
Cool.
see what this is. If like because now we have
Yeah.
DNA, we can put it through
Yeah,
our
yeah.
database of all the other shit we caught and defeated and see if it matches up.
Exactly.
We're so smart.
Is it a Roomba that you're putting in or no?
Oh my
No,
god.
baby Roomba got like out of battery and this service from the we're freaking dropping it 5 feet, so it's just chilling in our cute little backpack to be fixed later on.
It fell 5 feet. How?
The
Because
ghost
it-
levitated it.
Yeah, and then it went
Good.
clunk.
Then he just freaking dropped it with no care.
It
Yeah.
apologized
He-
though.
Spirit did apologize, but our poor baby Roomba. Roomba
All
did not
I'm
deserve
saying
that.
is,
On the
all I'm
hardwood
saying is
floor.
the ghost you said was a creepy lady. So how's it a man?
But because we think there might be 2 spirits.
True.
So
Ooh, very
you
cool.
guys go down to your like little laptop setup and everything, you scan everything in, and the only thing that comes back is the talons. And the match for the talons just show that they're like regular raven talons. You also notice that there is a large amount of like paranormal energy on the blade that you got out of her shoulder.
Right, yeah.
But I feel like you guys probably know there's a lot of paranormal activity by now.
20%.
Can you
Why-
just burn down the house and walk away?
No, we are
Oh
not
my
gonna. We're gonna clean off that blade, and I'm gonna stash it with my little knife set,
We're gonna
and
start
then we're gonna
opening
stab
the
this
new
bitch with its own knife.
Jesus
No,
Christ.
you guys could do extreme home makeover. Move that bus and see what happens.
Christ. While you're checking and logging stuff, you notice that you had something from earlier on your audio recordings.
You know, play
Who listens to it?
Oh, I'll listen to it. It's my audio recording though.
You hear what sounds like bells.
What kind of bells we talking?
Really
Go
loud.
ahead.
Church bells?
Yeah, like church bells actually.
But
Yes, sir.
Sam was right. Right.
For real.
Hey, how many tips did Alaska today?
He had 750 this morning.
He had 750 this morning.
But that's all you hear from the recording.
Yes,
It's a little
750 this morning.
Or at changeover, that's what it was. Why?
Is there a $1.50 that has cash tips or no?
I don't think he had $1.50 in cash tips. He might have had one single dollar.
She said it seems more like a $1 cash tip than a $1.50 in cash tips.
So what do you guys
Tell
No,
because
thank
right now his
How do you
receipts are
feel?
at the bottom, underneath everything in the
His
bag.
receipts are in the bottom
Church
underneath
bells.
everything.
Can we investigate this church bell?
Yeah, what kind of
No.
bells? Are they like jingle
Church
bells?
Church bells, don't
Church
you listen?
bells.
I was do my job, okay?
Oh my god.
Okay, so
They are church bells though.
So it definitely got married.
No, I
couple,
feel like
definitely.
investigative might not be.
1000%, it's a married couple. The man killed the
No.
wife and then killed himself in the house. Now they're haunting the house. The woman's trying to protect the
Church
people.
bells.
As a child.
Can you tell us where we read it from? Like from which room, or
Yeah,
like
sent
is it
them
from
a
an
picture
outer?
what's
It seems as if it didn't have a really defined source. It's weird because
I gotta
normally
send
when
you
you
a
guys set up your audio recordings, you
Yeah.
do it room by room.
Mhm.
But it was as if every like room that you did it at the same exact time had those church bells. Oh my god.
Please send me that. I will literally put that in the weekly.
Do it.
I sent it to Hobby. He also screenshot it too.
Jesus. But yeah, no, that was incredibly a weird occurrence for your guys' equipment. That's never happened before. Damn. Did you hear what I told you about the church bells?
I did not know.
You guys set up your audio equipment room by room,
Mhm.
and somehow it reported those church bells at the same exact time in every single room.
So now we ask the family if they heard them.
Yeah, go ask the family.
Wait, weren't they sleeping
So-
or is it not a thing?
No, the dad is still in.
We
the
go ask the
living
little
room.
girl. The little girl, Addison.
It's like 8 p.m.
Yeah,
Yeah, Addison gets dressed.
Oh, shit.
Addison.
Get off TikTok. Let's go.
Get off TikTok.
Stop renegade over there.
She comes down the
Renegade.
stairs. Jesus. She walks down the stairs and she just looks up at you and she's just like, "Your arm's better. Yay, that's good. Do you feel better?"
I would definitely stab her in the face.
Oh my god.
No.
Damn.
You would stab a child?
Yes.
No.
If she
That's
stabbed me,
child.
if she
This
stabbed
is
me,
literally, if you ever commit a crime, the government will
If-
find this
okay,
recording.
if she stabbed me in this imaginary setting, I'm gonna stab her back. Okay.
She didn't stab.
She wasn't always that.
She's gonna be the pawn in the situation. Yes.
Oh my lord.
Hey Addison,
Yeah,
have you been hearing voices lately?
yeah.
Did you hear church bells? Just now.
I've never been to church, but I heard ringing.
You're right, this child does need to get stabbed.
She needs Jesus. Honey, you need
Okay.
some Jesus.
So she hears the ringing.
Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna pull up some church bells on YouTube right now.
Cool, cool.
I will play it for you. Ready?
Is
that what it sounds like?
Yeah, it sounds just like that.
Well, what the heck?
Okay, so she hears the church bell too.
So can you ask the rest of the family?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely could.
Run over to Mary.
Hey, yo, man.
She's just in the kitchen making a pie. It's an apple pie. It smells super delicious.
I
Mm.
can't eat that
She's just
stuff.
like, "What's up?"
Did you just hear church bells?
No, I didn't hear
I've
anything.
never been to church. What they sound like?
Okay.
God isn't real.
Oh, it's okay. And then
Confirmed.
you're like, confirm that she does not hear the church bell, and you're like, that looks good. I want a slice later. Bye.
Wait, did you have ice cream?
She had ice cream, yeah.
Okay, and then you go back to Addison. I mean, we should probably go ask the father. Do you want to go ask the father, or am I gonna have to go ask the father?
Kat, you're already on a roll.
What?
I agree with Sam.
You're
Okay.
already
Oh
on a
my
roll.
God.
So we're gonna go stand in front of the TV, so he actually pay attention to us.
That was a good call.
Yes. And now we're gonna like, Andy, did you just hear church bells? Did you hear anything at all besides
Ringing.
this TV?
No, all I heard was the game and some annoying kids running around my house.
I'm gonna be like,
No.
okay, and then
Yep.
rudely just
All
change
men,
the
yep,
channel,
listen.
and then use the remote over there, and he can get his up and change the channel back
Well,
or
that's
something.
rude.
What the heck? I was watching that.
That's rude.
Yeah, we're trying to say you're fucking
I don't give a
so
frick. How about that?
Wow. He goes to get his remote. He seems like he's really had it. He's just going back to just his
You know,
happy space.
our customer service, our guest service on our website is probably really bad because because of Andy.
Probably.
He's probably writing a bad Yelp review now.
Because of who?
Andy,
Andy?
he's probably writing a really
Oh.
bad Yelp review, like
1000%.
running around my house and breaking shit and turn off my game.
1000%.
Oh wait, actually no. So was it a game? Was it like a pre-recorded game
It
or
was
whatnot?
no, it was a live game.
Okay, if it wasn't, I would have spoiled that ish for him
Yeah,
and
no,
walked
he
away.
was very
Oh,
upset.
that's so mean. I wasted your time.
Yeah, I don't like him.
I told you he should die a long time ago.
Are you still over by the equipment and stuff?
With Addison.
So
Yes.
Addison looks super like intrigued by like the computers. Like you notice now that like there hasn't been a single computer in the whole house.
She's a geek.
She's never seen it before. She's just like, what does this stuff do? Like it's so cool.
You can look like naughty images.
Oh my god, Sam. Stop.
Sorry.
No, that's not what it should be used for. Moving on.
You're good.
Sorry.
She goes, they kind of like climb up on a stool and stuff to kind of look at the computer better. 'Cause she's, she's small.
Yeah.
And as she goes to touch a key, her whole body just flies up the stairs and she screams.